Hope, healing, well-being. This is what you need to live a happy, fulfilling, and healthy life. Hope, healing, and well-being. This is where you'll learn to reduce stress and anxiety, strengthen your immune system, and become healthier in mind, body, and spirit. Each week, we'll inspire you with stories of people who have not just survived, but thrived, and introduce you to physicians, therapists, holistic practitioners, and best-selling authors who will give you insight into new skills and self-care practices. So join Mary Tracy O'Keefe as she guides us to living each day to the fullest. Now here's Mary.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hope, Healing, and Wellbeing Show. I'm Mary Tracy O'Keefe, and our show is one of the many programs offered by the Well Within Center in Woodbury, Minnesota. And at Well Within, we offer low-cost and free holistic healing therapies, psychotherapies, retreats, workshops, classes, and everything we do is designed to foster healing of mind, body, and spirit, as well as to promote overall well-being. So you can learn more about our programs at our website, which is wellwithin.org. And please check our integrative healing website, which is becomingwell.org. And you'll also want to check out our sponsor, Gail Cartier, and GailForceWins.com, which is her website. And be sure to look at our Well Within website. By the way, we do have our upcoming Hope in Motion event, walk-run for cancer survivors, is going to be on July 12th. We got Minnesota Oncology was able to reschedule. We had a huge storm on our original date of June 1st, so please come to that, and also check for our upcoming Becoming Well Within event for cancer survivors and those who love them in September. So those are all on our website. So today our guest is Maria Fuentes, and she's actually calling us from London. So we've got a global conversation going today. And Maria is a hypnosis practitioner who created a company called Hypnotica. And hypnoticadiet.com is her brainchild, and that's a wonderful website. And I'm going to just kind of spell it for you. It's HYPNOTIKA diet.com. The website has got just an extensive collection of breakthrough hypnotherapy tracks that listeners can actually listen to at their own pace. And so what we're going to do is talk to Maria about her hypnosis practice, but she's got way more than that. You know, I think I've even had a show on hypnotherapy a couple of years ago, but this one's different because she's not only got hypnotherapists, she's got a psychologist, dietitians, nutritionists, fitness trainers, yoga teachers, and Tai Chi masters, and these folks all help people who are trying to get healthy and lose weight. So she's got a terrific website that has both information on her company, but it's also got over 200 nutritional recipes and also other lessons on nutrition. So I'm going to let Maria tell us more about her company, and I want to welcome you today, Maria, with us. So thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you, Mary. An absolute pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you very much. You've done a good description of Hypnotica Diet. We tried to create a weight loss program that was really bringing about all the knowledge and expertise of all these experts in different fields. Hypnotica Diet came to be formed from the understanding that actually dieting doesn't work for the long term. We try so many diets over and over again. Mm-hmm. And you know, I was inundated in my practice with clients feeling really down and saying, "Oh, I haven't got willpower. Oh, I tried," and feeling that they were failing, they were not achieving. You know as well as I know, and probably the listeners, we all know what we need to do. We all know what we need to eat. Mm-hmm. But one thing is what consciously we recognize, and another one is what our subconscious believes is best for us. And I'm afraid it's not always right.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. Say more about that.
Yeah, it's not, isn't it? If you realize how many times you reach for the cake, and by repetition, it has become an automatic thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then, how can we fight against that? It's very difficult without involving our mind. So we wanted to create a system that involves that, the mind, the nutrition, the fitness, because it's the three aspects that make us to enjoy life and, eat healthy and lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to hear more about especially the hypnosis part, because I think a lot of us know that we need to eat more of the right foods and exercise and that sort of thing. But before I do that, I want to there's always a backstory on why people do what they do, and I'm sure you've got one too. So tell us more about who you are and what inspired you to do this.
Well, I'm a board-certified hypnotherapist based in South London. I was a total disbeliever in hypnotherapy and in alternative medicine. I was involved in finances and management during lots of years. And as the years were going past, we had serious issues, medical issues within the family. And I'm afraid the doctors were not coming forth with solutions very fast. And at the time, I met a lady called Jean Clark. She has a practice in South London as well, a naturopath. And she convinced me to try some of her holistic therapy methods, which were outstanding. We tried things like hypnosis, we tried things like homeopathics, bioresonance, oxygen therapy, and it was mind-blowing. All of a sudden, our health started to improve, and I started to be totally inspired by this. I started to take training in EFT, then I looked at clinical hypnosis, NLP. I was doing some volunteering and helping people, and it was such a reward to see that there are ways of achieving results very fast, and some of them don't have to be just medication. So I train with some of the best experts in the field, including Dr. John Butler, who used to work very closely with Jill Boyne over there in the United States.
Okay.
And since then, Mary, I just never been able to turn around. Just
Wow.
changed a complete career.
Wow. And how long has Hypnotica Diet been around?
Hypnotica Diet started at the beginning of the year. For quite a few years, I helped lots of clients with weight loss, among other issues. And it became a real center of my practice. I started to think, well, how many people cannot come to the practice to do it? How many people out there cannot simply afford to go to a hypnotherapist? How many people don't have the knowledge? And also, at the same time, I wanted to set up a system to support my clients once they were gone. Because these methods work very fast. Only in a week you can change quite a bit of things. So I wanted to make sure that there was something that helped them to continue focus, and at the same time, something that would help others out there. And that's how Hypnotica Diet came along. And we opened the site to subscribers in January this year.
Wow, that's great. Well, let's talk a little bit about hypnosis, because I think a lot of people just kind of have this view of hypnosis as kind of a, something that you see on TV, on some of the shows and things like that. But really, from the sounds of it, it's really kind of a holistic practice, isn't it? Or it's almost like a holistic therapy. It sounds like something that you can do in addition to some traditional ways of losing weight. So talk to us more about what is hypnosis all about, and how can we use it in various aspects of our life, actually.
Yeah. Well, hypnosis is actually the fact of putting a person in a trance state. Yeah, it's a way of communicating straight with the subconscious mind. While you're in a trance state, you see the brain waves become active, and we can change responses and create new learnings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The subconscious mind is where all our automatic responses to situations are stored. Whether that's how to get to your work in your car, or to reach for a cigarette when you are stressed, or the fact that you are scared of spiders. So in a trance state, we are able to almost reach that point where we can just change those things. So we take the edge of the very doubtful and critical part of our mind, that is the conscious, and enhance the subconscious, that is the learning part. Hypnosis can be used, like our listeners have seen probably, to do stage shows, to fun things, but that is not the purpose of what a clinical or medical hypnotherapy does. Mm-hmm. Hypnotherapy is the art of using those techniques to make real changes in people's lives regarding health and really psychological issues as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can see how some of these destructive patterns or behaviors create really real problems and medical conditions like stress, anxiety, insomnia, irritable bowel syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are able to use that powerful technique to create those changes in our mind, we are up for big results. And nowadays, actually, you can see quite a few researchers that are embracing hypnotherapy. Not sure if you've seen ever Embarrassing Bodies. Have you ever heard of Embarrassing Bodies program here in the UK?
No. Is that like a TV show or what?
Yes,
Embarrassing Bodies?
It's actually quite, and you can actually go to YouTube and search some of the videos that they have. They use hypnotherapy all the time, not
really?
only for weight loss, but, they have all sorts of experts there. Sometimes people do go for gastric bands, but before they do that, they send them to a hypnotherapist to sort out the behaviors around food. And in fact, in YouTube, there's another one, Mary, that all the listeners can actually watch about IBS and how, with hypnotherapy, IBS improves. So, yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really very interesting. Well, I think people might get confused a little bit, so maybe you can help us, because you've got hypnotherapy and then hypnosis, and then you also hear things like relaxation therapy. Are those kind of the same, or how can you distinguish those for us?
Well, the relaxation therapies can be anything. It can be meditation. It can be, to be honest, having a nice bath if you want to relax. Anything that is going to be calm in the mind. Now, hypnosis is really the state of creating those changes by transforming your theta brainwaves. Yeah, when you are asleep, your brainwaves are different to the ones that you are using when you are alert and studying.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get to a theta brainwave, it's when you become more creative and learning better. So in a hypnosis state, you will be touching those theta brainwaves to really do anything you want to. I mean, there is a hypnotherapist and showman here in the UK that allowed an 80-year-old lady the chance to learn to play poker at a professional level in just a few weeks.
Wow.
The guy not only used hypnosis, but all sorts of techniques. So it can be just done for show. So really, hypnosis can be done for all the things. Relaxation techniques, yes, anything that will bring you calm and relaxation. It could be as well hypnosis, what it brings with that, absolutely. And hypnotherapy is just when we use a tool to create life changes at a psychological or health level. Yeah.
Can those also teach when you talk about psychological? So one of the problems with our focus, of course, on weight loss and things like that, sometimes you can have eating disorders, which of course is not helpful at all. So can the hypnotherapy help things like that too? So you don't go too far overboard with.
Yes, indeed. It's great to in fact, with combination to other therapies as well, like cognitive behavior therapy, or even with, just going to the psychologist, etc. But it's been proven that it can be remarkable when you combine it to treat these disorders like bulimia, etc. In 2011, there was a case study published by the American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis and documented how a set of twins with bulimia nerviosa with treatments, programs together with hypnotherapy got remarkable results. What they did was to have 6 group sessions of these twins and then 5 individual sessions. They have suffered enormously in their lives, so they had issues of abuse, etc. And the results were outstanding because after 6 sessions and 5 sessions extra individual, both twins groups had improvements, remarkable improvements in the mental and emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
And this is well documented. So if any of the listeners are suffering with this kind of behaviors, please do not lose hope. Do look at other alternatives and give it a go. Give it a go because you will be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Wondering the difference between our two countries. Obviously, I'm in the U.S. and you're in the U.K. I don't think we hear quite as much about hypnotherapy over here. Do you think it's more popular over there, or why do you think that is, so that you don't hear about it as much as, say, trying acupuncture or yoga or some other kind of therapy?
Yeah. I think popularity comes from circulation of information. If people are not sure what hypnotherapy is and what it does and it doesn't do, it's unlikely that they're going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were still quite nervous of using acupuncture up until about 10 years ago. But once people noticed that the results could be very positive and medical practitioners started to endorse it in journals, people got more comfortable with the idea. In the UK, we have had hypnotherapists take part in documentaries about their work and celebrities openly saying that hypnotherapy has helped them. And that definitely gets people wondering and whether it could help them too. So it's all about that information that needs to be filtered and sent to people so they can take their own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really all about that. Don't you think so, Mary? What do you think over there? Do you think people is very familiar that hypnotherapy can actually, really help them even at a medical level?
I don't think at a medical level so much. But, we're just now starting to, of course, everything we do is a holistic thing. We have Tai Chi like you do and things like that. We're really big into nutrition and classes. We're just now seeing the medical community be much more accepting of those sort of things. So it just seems to kind of be going a little bit slower, than I think a lot of people would like it to be. What helps, of course, is people talking about success stories and things like that. The other thing is, of course, the medical community, and rightly so, has to be concerned with safety and that sort of thing. So I guess that would be a question I'd have for you, too, is how safe is hypnotherapy? Is there any danger of, messing around with it? I don't know if it's not really messing with your mind, but putting people into a trance, is that safe or that could be a concern?
Yeah, it is actually very safe, extremely safe. If you think about it, one of the simplest ways of knowing how safe it is to compare how much we pay hypnotherapists for our insurance compared to doctors or any other practitioners. The premiums are very low, and as you know, in insurances, according to the claims and the risk, they put the premium up. So you could be looking at, £70 insurance for a hypnotherapist versus thousands of pounds for a psychologist or medical practitioner. That gives you an idea of actually how safe it is. Mm-hmm. But also, one of the things that people do need to know is that there are regulatory bodies. It's important that when they go to see a hypnotherapist, it's someone that is registered with a body that regulates them, that they have the right qualifications, because you want to have good results, and you may not have them if you're with someone that simply have not had the appropriate training. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In Britain, it is estimated that about 550,000 people use hypnotherapy.
Really? Wow.
It's quite a big number, and growing very fast as well. In 2008, the Department of Health formally launched its plan to establish the Complementary and Natural Healthcare Council as the regulatory body of those therapies practicing in the field of complementary therapies here in the UK. So they make sure that all therapies on the register come from highly regarded training programs. And otherwise, they are not allowed to register.
Okay.
CNHC do not publish the exact number of member figures, but there are tens of thousands there. Yeah. So, the listener needs to be obviously wary, like you would do really when you go to a doctor. You actually look at which doctor you want to go. So exactly the same with these kind of therapies.
I want to talk more about the specifics, but before I do, I just want to welcome anybody that, if you've just joined us, you're listening to the Hope, Healing, and Wellbeing Show. I'm Mary Tracy O'Keefe. My guest today is Maria Fuentes, and we are talking about her company. It's HypnoticaDiet.com, and it's really about using hypnotherapy, especially with weight loss. So, Maria, you're obviously quite a ways away from most of our listening audience, although we do have people listening all over the world. So how walk me through the process. I know they would access your website, and I think you even have kind of a little free trial on there, but what do they get when they, how do they use your services when we're at such a distance they can't come into your office?
Okay. Hypnotic Diet is very different to any other weight loss system, as we mentioned before. When you log into our system, you find yourself with different options. There are clients that they think, I only want to work with the mind, and that's absolutely fine. They can do that. And others that want something a bit more holistic, as we were talking. So we have incorporated nutritionists that give you nutritionist lessons every week, and fitness, yoga, and Tai Chi, as we talk, mainly because we don't only want you to feel good and lose weight, but we want to, improve your health. So you will be able to find that all of a sudden every week you get new information coming to you. Please don't be overwhelmed. We just want you to have a lot of information so you can take wise decisions. Weekly, you will be receiving a hypnotherapy course of treatment. It's different to buying an MP3 out there. The reason for that is that we make sure that before you listen to that, we ask you a few questions that is going to set a thought pattern, so that the MP3s are even more effective. You will be correcting every week a pattern of behavior, something that is impacting in your weight. At the same time, you will be receiving nutrition lessons if you want to, and that's very much up to you. We highly recommend it because you'll be surprised of some of the information we put there in how little things can affect your weight. You have your recipes and your cooking tips there as well. And we send you videos of fitness, yoga, and Tai Chi. The reason we have included Mary yoga and Tai Chi into our program is because there has been quite a few studies that confirmed that yoga can reduce, stress response and inflammation in your body. All these responses are very linked to people that are obese. There's a lot of stress in our life, etc. So therefore, we decided to take it very seriously. Janice Kikol-Glasen, who is a professor of psychiatry and psychology at Ohio State University, demonstrated this in some of her studies. And I'm afraid most of those inflammation conditions, like diabetes, arthritis, are related to obesity. So we thought, okay, let's include that so that everybody had a choice of doing that. And the same happened with Tai Chi. When we decided to create the program, we thought, okay, sometimes clients cannot do all this jumping around and exercises and cardio, etc. And we did a bit of an investigation, and we found that Harvard Medical School was recommending Tai Chi as one of the perfect activities to restore the quality of life and be distressed.
That's good to hear. And so they can just kind of watch the videos and then follow the instructions on the video?
Yeah.
And then what about
right.
you've got the tapes for, can they actually receive this hypnosis online, or how does that work, the hypnotherapy?
Yeah. Every week they receive their MP3 and they listen to the session online. Mm-hmm. Additionally, they will always be supported. So if at any time they need help, all our experts are there available. So you can be connecting with them through Skype. We have nutritionists, the psychologists, the hypnotherapists. It's as easy as going into the website and I say, I want to have a session with you, and we'll be able to do it. You don't have to, you don't want to, but you will be able to do that. And every week, and that is so important, Mary, we have designed this system for them to be able to trace how they're changing. So if they want to on a daily basis, they can check how their behavior is changing. And weekly, they can actually see how the changes in food are taking place. So, for example, at the beginning, you may find I'm eating, 10 packets of crisps every week. And, I'm eating sweets and cakes. And all of a sudden, the week after and the week after, they will be able to see how all of a sudden they are not eating it. They have lost the interest for it. The mind has learned that other ways of eating makes more sense. And we've done it because it changes so rapidly and so easily that sometimes when you get to week 3, you even forget what you were eating in week 1.
Really? Huh. Do they have to track what they're eating? Do they track what they're eating and things like that, people?
No, they will never be counting calories. They will never be looking at, I cannot have this. This is not a diet. Remember that. This is not a diet. And this is what I find more difficult when a client comes to me to the practice, when I tell them, oh, no, there's no diet, there's no counting calories. They're like, no? But how am I going to manage? You're going to be absolutely fine. Your mind is going to take you to eat in a different way. What they do track, if they want to, is just once a week, how many packets of crisps do they have, or how many sweets. And it's really only for their own sake, really, if they want to do it, because we have all these graphics coming and developing, so they will be able to see visually the changes they had. That's one of the things that my clients at the practice love the most. Usually when they finish after 4 or 5 sessions, they say, wow, what I miss is to come and see you and actually compare to the week before or when I started, because I can't believe how much has changed. And just now it's almost like it's natural to me not to eat the chocolate that I was eating before, you see.
You just don't eat it anymore?
You just all of a sudden don't have an interest. Or you decide, okay, I'm going to have a tiny bit. You have enough with a tiny bit. You don't need to eat a tablet. I have a lady that came years ago and used to eat a kilo of olives a week. Imagine, Mary, kilo.
Wow, that's a lot.
And it was a lot, dozens of calories. And it was, we had a good laugh because after 4 sessions, she has not missed it at all. But the first session, it was a shocking one. She came back and she said, okay, so how is your cakes? How is your crisp? Oh, nothing. No, I haven't touched them. When I asked her about the olives, she had not even realized. She was like, oh, my God, I haven't bought it. I have not gone to buy the olives. So because of that, because we know that we almost forget how we were, we wanted to put a system so that if the subscriber wants to do that, they can check how they're changing. Because there's nothing more demoralizing that all of a sudden, I don't know, 10, 12 weeks down the line, one day you find yourself eating one extra cake, and people start panicking. Oh my God, gosh, am I regressing? And the beauty of having that is that you can see that you're actually not. Everybody, even thin people, from time to time have an extra cake, and it doesn't mean anything. It's a one-off thing, isn't it? And it's a part of everyday living. So that is the main reason, but not really because they have to trace calories and count and nothing like that at all.
I'm wondering if it would help then those of us that are compulsive overeaters and have addictions to certain food, like I do with sugar. I just can't have it at all. But of course, you still have the cravings for it, and you still want it. So could this hypnotherapy help with just kind of getting rid of that, so you don't actually even want those foods anymore?
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Cravings respond really well to hypnotherapy and NLP. The program that we do is NLP and hypnosis. It is very, very, very easy to control a craving with NLP and with hypnotherapy. So usually, when clients come into practice, we stop craving for a particular thing usually in one session. Yeah.
Wow.
It is very, very fast. And then we give a program to listen every night. It helps you sleep. It improves your sleep. Like, my goodness, everybody comes, I love it. But it helps you program your mind. So we stop the cravings, and then we give you MP3s to listen. I would recommend 6 to 8 weeks. I perhaps go overboard, but I think it's necessary to go overboard. If you think about this, Mary, and listeners, please, are there, when we are behaving in a certain way, we have an automatic thought. Yeah? Those thoughts create new pathways in our brain. Now, we know there's neuroplasticity, and we can create new changes in our brain. How do we create them? By repetition.
Yeah.
So it's very important to
you just keep listening every day or something?
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Every day. You don't need to make a special time. You can do it when you go to bed. But it's important because we want to create new neural pathways and new patterns of behaviors that are well established in our mind.
Great. So as we kind of come to an end here, Maria, just talk about really the main benefits and reasons why this sort of service that you offer is helpful for them, and why it's important that they seek these type of therapies to help them, things like hypnotherapy and the other relaxation therapies.
Sorry, can you repeat that one? I think I lost you there. The line went.
Yeah. Why? What's the bottom line here as far as what are the reasons why people have tried all sorts of things? Why is it so important that you think that they should try the hypnotherapies and the other services that you offer?
Sure. Okay. I'm sure you have used diets, and they have not worked. The reason for that is very simple. Okay. Every time you deprive yourself of a particular food, every time you reduce your calorie intake by more than 500 calories, automatically you are setting a stress response, a starvation mode. Your subconscious is there to protect you. It has learned that you need to eat those things. Okay? In the moment you stop doing that, it's going to trigger you to wanting them. And I bet just the thought of, I can't have that cake, is setting you now to wanting the cake. Yeah?
Yeah.
So every time you go into those extreme diets to lose weight very rapidly, your body will go into starvation mode. Your metabolic rate is going to go down, and at the same time, as you carry on in that path, you may lose focus. You may lose focus because it's impossible to keep your mind focused on dieting 100% of your life. In the moment you do that, in the moment the conscious mind diverts a tiny bit of that thought, your subconscious will take over, and it leads you to eat even more. We have all experienced yo-yo diets. So if you have tried that and it has not worked, you know now why. If you have tried to just exercise, you know why now. You have tried exercising, you've done really well, but you were still craving and you were still reaching for the wrong food, you know now why. Mm-hmm. We need to find success combining everything. We need to engage the mind, and that's one of the things we haven't done. We need to go, when we have done any diets, we need to combine the mind and then learn and wise up about nutrition. Very few people know that sugar interferes with your appetite. You know, the hormones cannot transmit the messages to the brain that you are full. So learning those things and engaging your mind is the way forward. I'm afraid there's no other one, and that's the reality. Mm-hmm.
So now that people are interested in all this, tell us the best way to reach you, just through your website, or what's the best way to contact you?
Sure. They can go to hypnoticadiet.com. That's HYPNAT, sorry, that's me again, HYPNOTIKADIET.com. Mm-hmm. In Hypnotic Diet, you'll be able to also find links to our Facebook and to our Twitter. You can contact me directly from there as well, so if you need anything, any questions, feel free to do that. At the moment, Mary, we have a special offer, so I invite you to come on board and look at the site and the program. The total value of the program is over £2,000. However, we are now offering the program for $84 for a limited time period. And not only that, as you said, we are giving you the first week totally free, so you can try it. You have nothing to lose and all to win. So, come along, visit us, join us, send us an email if you want to know more, you have any doubts, any questions. And I invite you as well, if they want to know a bit more, to go to our website and to press the button that says 30 minutes weight loss. Because more or less, you will listen to an MP3 30 days, 30 minutes at night, yeah? If you go there, they will find videos that are going to tell them how the brain learns to eat and crave for sugar and any other foods you want to manage, and how mind persuasion and hypnotherapy can change those behaviors.
Sounds great. Well, I know I'm intrigued. I'm going to check it out, and I'm sure our listeners are as well. So, Maria Puentes, thanks so much for joining us from London today, and I hope to get together with you when I'm over in London. I just got back, as you know, and I'll get together with you next time I'm there, so I look forward to it. And thanks again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Mary. Looking forward to that as well.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
For further information about the Well Within Center, go to wellwithin.org. That's wellwithin.org. You can find Mary's book, Thin Places, Where Faith is Affirmed and Hope Dwells, and information about her inspiring presentations by going to marytracyokeefe.com. You can find both these addresses on the screen in front of you. And if you missed a show, you'll find it in archived shows. Thank you, and we'll see you next week right here for another episode of Hope, Healing, and Well-Being.
Videos that are going to tell them how the brain learns to eat and crave for sugar and any other foods you want to manage, and how mind persuasion and hypnotherapy can change those behaviors.
Sounds great. Well, I know I'm intrigued. I'm going to check it out, and I'm sure our listeners are as well. So, Maria Puentes, thanks so much for joining us from London today, and I hope to get together with you when I'm over in London. I just got back, as you know, and I'll get together with you next time I'm there, so I look forward to it. And thanks again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Mary. Looking forward to that as well.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
For further information about the Well Within Center, go to wellwithin.org. That's wellwithin.org. You can find Mary's book, Thin Places, Where Faith is Affirmed and Hope Dwells, and information about her inspiring presentations by going to marytracyokeefe.com. You can find both these addresses on the screen in front of you. And if you missed a show, you'll find it in archived shows. Thank you, and we'll see you next week right here for another episode of Hope, Healing, and Well-Being.